It usually happens at night. The room is quiet. The phone is face down. The world has finally stopped asking things from you, but your mind hasn't. You replay conversations you had hours ago. You rewrite sentences you already said. You imagine reactions that haven't happened and may never happen, and you do all of this without a sound. You don't pace. You don't vent. You don't collapse outward. You overthink in silence. From the outside, you look calm, grounded, composed. Inside, it's relentless. You think because thinking feels safer than feeling. You analyze because analysis feels more controllable than vulnerability. You stay quiet because you learned early that expressing confusion, fear, or need came at a cost. And here's the paradox you rarely name. The thing that once protected you is now the thing quietly destroying you. Your mind became your shield, but it also became your cage. You don't overthink because you're weak. You overthink because at some point in your life, thinking was how you survived. And now, you can't turn it off. People who overthink in silence are not indecisive. They are hyper-responsible. They grew up in environments, emotional, relational, or psychological, where mistakes felt dangerous, emotions felt inconvenient, and clarity felt required too early. Let's slow this down and name the architecture beneath the pattern. 1. Hypervigilance. Hypervigilance is not just anxiety. It's a nervous system trained to stay awake. You learned to scan tone shifts, facial expressions, unspoken expectations. Your mind became a forecasting machine, constantly running simulations to avoid harm, rejection, or conflict. Thinking wasn't optional. It was necessary. 2. Emotional neglect schema. This doesn't mean no one cared. It means your internal world wasn't consistently attended to. You weren't taught how to process emotions, so you learned how to manage outcomes instead. The message absorbed was subtle but powerful. Feelings are messy. Thinking is safer. 3. Avoidant or fearful attachment. You crave closeness, but closeness feels risky. So instead of expressing uncertainty, you internalize it. Instead of asking questions, you calculate. Instead of saying, "I don't know how I feel," you think until exhaustion. Your default mode network, the brain system responsible for self-referential thought, becomes overactive. Your inner dialogue never rests because it believes rest equals danger. This isn't personality. This is conditioning. Carl Jung once wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Silent overthinking is unconscious labor. You work endlessly inside, but no one sees the effort. You grieve quietly. You grieve the peace you can't access, the spontaneity you lost, the self you might have been without fear. This is invisible grief. You sacrifice authenticity for control. You trade presence for preparedness. You replace rest with rehearsal. The core fear underneath silent overthinking is not fear of thinking wrong. It's fear of consequence. Fear that if you stop thinking, you'll miss something. You'll hurt someone. You'll be rejected. You'll fail without noticing, so even simple moments become heavy. Sending a text, making a decision, choosing rest, letting go of certainty. You don't live in the moment. You live ahead of it. And that constant anticipation slowly drains your life force. The silent overthinker doesn't stop thinking with age. They become adults with recognizable patterns. You might, in relationships, replay conversations long after they end. Struggle to express needs clearly. Fear being misunderstood. Stay silent instead of risking conflict. In career, overprepare. Delay decisions. Fear. Visible mistakes. Tie worth to mental competence. In self-worth, feel valuable only when useful or right. Shame yourself for uncertainty. Equate rest with laziness. Measure worth by mental control with boundaries. Overthink saying no. Justify your limits excessively. Agree to things you resent. Fear disappointing others. With emotional regulation, intellectualize feelings. Analyze instead of experience. Feel mentally exhausted but emotionally numb. Carry constant cognitive tension with identity. Identify as the thinker. Feel disconnected from intuition. Struggle to trust yourself. Ask, who am I without my mind running? These are not flaws, they are coping strategies that overstayed their welcome. Unlearning doesn't start with stopping thoughts. It starts with witnessing them. Not judging, not forcing silence, but gently noticing, I am thinking because I am trying to stay safe. Healing silent overthinking doesn't mean becoming careless. It means becoming embodied. 1. Inner child. Reparenting. You reassure the part of you that learned to overthink. You don't have to solve everything to be safe. You offer permission to pause. 2. Shadow work. You reclaim what thinking replaced. Uncertainty, emotion, imperfection, trust. You stop trying to eliminate fear and start listening to it. 3. Nervous system regulation. Overthinking lives in the mind, but it begins in the body. Slow breath, grounding, movement, teaching your nervous system. Nothing bad is happening right now. 4. Choosing softness over survival. You stop asking, what could go wrong? And start asking, what do I feel right now? 1 pause at a time. 1 decision without rehearsal. 1 moment of rest without justification. As Seneca wrote, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. You don't need to silence your mind. You need to let it rest. The goal is not to be fixed, but to become whole. If this felt uncomfortably accurate, it's because your awareness is waking up. Share this with someone whose mind never rests. Stay here, because healing doesn't happen in silence anymore. You are allowed to stop thinking your way into safety.